Hello, and thank you for joining us for the fourth installment of Bonnie's Trying to Conceive journey. Are you a woman over 40 who's trying to conceive? Have you been told that your hormones are out of whack, that your eggs are no good, that it's dangerous for you to become pregnant? Well, we are here to have a different conversation. My name is Sandra Jones-Keller, and I'm an intuitive pregnancy coach with the CCFL Global Academy. The Academy is an amazing organization where 31 experts and specialists have come together to heal, unite, and empower individuals and families. So I'm so excited to be a part of it. I'm also a woman who conceived at 41. I had a high-risk pregnancy. I had large fibroid tumors and was told that I shouldn't even be pregnant. So the tools and techniques that I teach are exactly what I use to navigate through my high-risk pregnancy. So today we are going to talk to Bonnie. Welcome, Bonnie.
Hi, Sandra. Thank you so much for being in my life.
Oh, I am so happy to be here with you. So why don't you just tell me what was your life like before we started working together?
Oh my gosh. Before we started working together, I had thrown myself into a tizzy of obsession, actually. Trying to conceive was taking over my life. I was finding myself looking on Google every single day for things that I could do, that I could change. I found myself taking about 25 supplements every month, wrapping towels around my waist, heat pads, fighting with my husband, just emotional mess and wreck for a whole year and a half. So I understand the journey that a lot of you watching this video are on, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. But when I met Sandra, she made me aware of something that was incredibly important and something that I wasn't aware of before. Because my first question was all about biology, and Sandra, go ahead and share with everybody what you shared with me the first time we talked was only a few months ago, and what you saw in me and where you took me.
Well, the first thing I asked you, Bonnie, was, is your body capable of carrying a baby? And what did you say?
Yeah, I had an overwhelming capital YES show up in my mind, and I said, absolutely I can. Yes, I can.
And so from that point, we started talking about not the biology of having a baby, of carrying a baby, but more of the spiritual principles and looking at what was going on with your life, looking at the thoughts, looking at how you felt. It was just interesting, a lot of the things that came up that were unexpected. But the work that we've been doing together has really been about you creating a partnership with your unborn baby, about creating a partnership with your body. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, since working with you, Sandra, I feel a shift inside of my spirit where I am now kind of excited for the future. I know that a baby's in my future. Um, Really just started communicating with the unborn baby spirit we named Danny, and just asking what he needed from us rather than taking the medical direction and starting to take supplements and go the IVF and all of that. I am now going through the shift where I absolutely believe that I can get pregnant. I absolutely believe that I will have a healthy baby. And it's just making the journey a lot more fun because I realize I've studied the power of the mind for 20 years. And I realized that living in fear and trying really hard to force everything to come together will never work for me. I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I would stake my life on it. So Sandra able to keep me on track. Now, I do feel a shift every month moving forward. It gets better and it gets stronger, but honestly, there is still something in the back of my mind because I keep getting these little fleeting thoughts. I just started a brand new cycle again. There was no heartbreak. There was no I hate my body or anything like that. It's totally fine. But I do get the odd fleeting thought like it's never going to happen, or I'll forget about it, and then I can switch it back. But what I'm looking for from you today is some sort of prayer that would not only help me, but help all of the women that are watching this. That we can say something in our minds every time we have a negative thought about it. We can say something that will make us feel better instantly and get us back on track with, your body was, we were created to procreate and recreate. right? So some sort of prayer that would help in those instances would be wonderful.
And Bonnie, adjust your volume a little bit. It's I think it might be a little too high because you're a little bouncy. But one prayer that I use and I have used for years that brings me peace is whenever I'm under distress or not feeling well or frightened or scared, what I do is I say I bless this situation for the highest good of all concerned. I bless this situation for the highest good of all concerned. And what this does is it opens up a space for spirit, for my higher self to start working miracles. And these miracles that have occurred are outside of my realm of possibility in the moment. And when I bless the situation for the highest good of all concerned, then I'm taking away my wants and desires of the small me, and I'm looking at the whole. And so what happens is the universe literally starts shifting and moving and aligning things in a way that I didn't know was even possible. And sometimes it may take a few minutes, and sometimes it may take days, depending on what the situation is. But I bless this situation for the highest good of all concerned. Because when we are in fear, when I'm in fear, when I'm in distress, all I'm seeing is my little myopic perspective. And so once I start letting go, once I start allowing the universe to support me, then miracles start occurring, then the energy starts shifting. And what happened with you and Tom? I mean, the spirit of your unborn baby came in and started communicating with you and telling you exactly what he needed in order to incarnate. And so it gave you something different to work with. So instead of worrying about your hormones every month and your biology and what's going on with your eggs, you then had something practical and pragmatic to focus on. Okay, this is what Danny said he needed. And so those structures that were in place that weren't supporting him coming through, you guys have been working on and filtering out. And so as you continue to communicate with him, you get more clarity, and you're actually working out things that some people take 10 and 15, 20 years or never work out with their kids. Mm-hmm. You're doing it before he even incarnates.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and the message that we got when we actually just quiet our minds and meditate and release everything negative that we've heard about infertility and all that stuff, and what really came to the forefront of both of our minds was that we have such a huge project and undertaking going on in our lives right now with the Academy and with you guys and everything, that he wanted all of our attention, and he wanted us to be available for him through the entire process of pregnancy and newborn and whatnot. And I know the timing hasn't been right. I've wanted a baby. I felt like a 2-year-old stomping my feet going, I want a baby right now, but I know the timing has been wrong. And so, Sandra, the biggest thing is for me and working with you is you're able to just keep me on track and keep me in that faith and keep me happy and joyful so that this journey doesn't consume my life in a negative way. I want to look back in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now and have fun and just remember a joyful experience. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the prayer today also.
Yeah, and like I said, sometimes you may find peace in a few minutes. I mean, there have been times when I have said that prayer over and over and over for 24, for 36 hours, depending on what it is. And I say it for everything. And so as a woman who is trying to get pregnant, it's like you have your own desires and wants. But as you say this prayer and as you start blessing the situation, then you're taking into account what your partner needs. You're taking into account what the baby needs, which is most important. And you're taking into account what you need. And so this all works together to support everyone involved. Not just what you want, but what the baby needs. Because the baby will not come through until the timing and environment is optimal for it. And that's something that we discovered with you, Bonnie, and it's something that I've discovered with other women. And so as we, as women, can start letting go and allowing the information that is there for them to come through, then there will be a healing process that occurs, and there will be more peace, and then the clarity for the next steps will come through. And the next steps are not all about biology, which is, what I teach is that these are spiritual agreements and these are spiritual contracts.
Yeah, that's just awesome, and I think that your work can help a lot of women. And I just strongly encourage, if you're watching this video, Sandra has, what is it that you have on your website?
Well, right now I've got, several articles, and I have a download available that talks about how to have two-way communication with your unborn, newborn baby, and I talk about universal laws and spiritual principles and actually raising this child. So there's, a lot of good stuff coming. I'm developing new materials all day. And, if you really like what you're hearing, there are millions of other videos out there available talking about biology, talking about the horror stories. But in this age, in this new age of 2014, we are doing something different. We're talking about spiritual principles. We're talking about connection. We're talking about intuitive communication. And so we are creating a new paradigm of existence, and we are creating a new paradigm of parenting for these new age children that are coming through. So if you like what you hear, please visit us at the ccflglobalacademy.com. Come to my website, sandrajoneskeller.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We are here to support you in creating a new paradigm of parenting, a new paradigm of pregnancy, and a new paradigm of being. So thank you very much, and join us again next week.